Okay, hello. Well, welcome to our haiku presentation tutorial. This is going to go over how to create and make your haiku deck. I want to quickly go over our objectives again, just to talk about what it is that you'll be working on. And then I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create your haiku deck, and then do all the kind of fun stuff on the website, like changing the font and the styles and making sure our slides look professional. So first things first, let's go back here and glance at our objectives again. If you remember from last week, we came up with 3 facts from a social studies or a science lesson that you are doing in class. We also started working on an outline for our presentation. Those were the things that we had gotten done last week. So this week, hopefully we'll get that outline finished if it's not already done, and we will start working on our presentation, at least get a good chunk of stuff on that. And then we're also going to learn about images and how we can, if we add images to our presentation, then we can kind of enhance it, make it look a little bit better. So today we are doing some survive objectives and working our way to completing our thrive objectives. So let's go back to Classroom. And here on Classroom, I've got a couple of things that we're going to look at. I want to look at my outline first, and then we're going to go ahead and go to Haiku Deck. So going here to my outline. This should be complete if you're listening to this video. So if this outline here is not finished, then you need to pause this right now, stop the video. You need to go back and finish this outline first. It's very important that this is done because this is the information that we'll be taking and putting into our haiku deck. And if it's not finished, then of course we're going to have to go back and watch it again anyways. So like I said, if this is not finished, make sure you pause it right now, go finish it, make sure that Mr. Meyer has checked that your outline is good and it's ready to go, and then you're ready to continue listening on this. Now your outline probably looks a little bit better than mine, has far more information on here, hopefully a couple of sentences on at least our fact slides as it is. I've just kind of put a couple of little short sentences just to give you an idea of how it is that we'll take our information from our outline and put it into a haiku deck. So no more talking about that. Let's actually get started and discuss our haiku deck website, how that will work. So first things first, I'm going to click the link to open up Haiku Deck. And Haiku Deck is a website that does require a login, and we are all going to use the same login. So you're going to have a login and information will be up on the board. You can copy from that, sign yourself in. That way all of our Haiku Decks will be in the same account. Makes it a little bit easier for me, and then also you can't sign up for an account because some of the reasons I explained before with your email not being able to receive emails from outside of our school. So because of that, you are not able to sign up for this, so you're going to use a generic login for my tech class. So again, you'll look up on the board to find that, and the password will be up there. And once you put that in, you'll see you'll be logged into Mr. Meyer's Tech Integration account. And right now you can see there are 0 haiku decks because none of you have been on yet to make any. But by the time you're listening to this recording and you get yourself logged in, you will probably see a lot of haiku decks. So it's very important on this project, as we name it, we need to make sure we name it with our name. So you're not going to name it with your subject, you're going to name it with your name. So getting started, I'm going to go ahead and click right here where it says create a new deck. I'm only going to do this the first time. I'm not going to go in next week and create another new deck. I'm just going to continue working on the one I had started. But for today, you're going to create a new deck. Up at the top, it will say Untitled Haiku Deck. I'm going to go ahead and change that, and I want you to please type in your name. Your first name and last initial would be perfect for this. That should make it so that you can find that quickly and easily the next time you want to get in and you want to make some changes and finish your presentation if you don't get it done today. So I think we're at the very first stopping point of our video. So I'm going to have you go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to kind of catch up with me. So you are going to go to Classroom, click on the link to Haiku Deck, get yourself signed in, and please start a new Haiku Deck. Name it with your first name and last initial. So go ahead and do those steps. Come on back to the video when you're done, and we will continue on to the next part. Okay, so hopefully you are caught up with us now. You have a haiku deck created, it's named, it's all ready to go. So I'm going to really quickly run over some of the features in Haiku deck before we do get started. So let's take a look. This is a pretty easy, pretty simple website to look at. There are these 4 little tabs over here that we'll be talking about a little bit today. The first one we're going to start with here is our format, our slide format. We have these 6 different types of formats. A format is basically how the information is put on your slide. So you can see here, this one here is a title slide. So we have big words here that we'll put in a title. We have some small text here that we'll put in a subtitle. I have some information slides. Here's another one. This is a bulleted list. So I can put like a little subheading here, and then I can put some facts right here. I also have a numbered list, which is just like the bulleted, only it has numbers instead. I have just a general text, so I could just put just normal text in there. And then I have some kind of a little bit fancier ones where I have some kind of some picture and text ones. You will probably just be doing these first 4 formats. Those are probably going to be the easiest for what we're doing on our assignment, and they'll look perfectly fine with what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead, start here with this title slide first. That's the one I want to do first. Okay, so now the first thing that you're going to get done on this slide before I come back, to my outline and I copy and paste my sentence, I'm going to put a title in it. So whatever that title happens to be, you're going to put it on here. So your title, I'll say. So I know some classes were doing a states of matter. That would be your title, states of matter. Some people were doing a government. That will be your title, government. Magnets, I believe, was another one. So if you have one of those, that's what you're going to put first. You're going to put those in the biggest words. Now this here is what's called a subheading. This is where you're going to take your sentence that you first did, this intro slide sentence. That's going to be where you put that. So I want this sentence to go right here. And I'm going to do that by copying and pasting. We have practiced a little bit with copying and pasting before, but I'm going to go really quickly over it here again with you. When you want to copy and paste, you're going to highlight the sentence that you want. Now I need to be careful because I don't want the words intro slide. I don't want that. Okay, I just want the sentence that I typed. So I'm going to highlight just that sentence. And then I can right click on the sentence and I can come up here and click copy. Or I can do my shortcut on my keyboard, which is holding Control and then typing the letter C. Either one will do it for you. So again, I highlight my sentence and I can right click, or I can do the Control C. I did the Control C, so I'm ready to come back to Haiku deck, and I'm going to click down here where it says click to add more text here, and I can actually paste my sentence in right there. So of course you're not going to have this underlined part here. You're going to have whatever it is that your title is. So your first slide is going to say the name of your presentation, whatever subject we're doing, and underneath of it, today I will show you about, or the sentence that you came up with instead. And that is your first slide. So we're already done with one slide almost. We'll come back later on and add a picture to it after we get all of our text on first. Okay. Now down at the bottom here, you'll see here is our slide that we've just now come up with. Our stuff will save automatically for us. It's kind of like Google. It will save it automatically, which is nice. So when I want to add a new slide, I'm going to go ahead and hit this little plus. And when I hit the plus, it creates a new slide for me. Now it will automatically keep that same format that I had before, but I don't want to have the title slide format for my facts. I want to do something different. I would recommend doing something like either the bulleted list or this plain text. If you did more than one sentence, this bulleted list will be a perfect pick for you. You could probably do the numbered, but most of us aren't going to have more than a 1 or a 2, so bullets might look a little bit nicer. But if you only had one sentence, this plain text format here would probably be a good choice for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this bulleted list here. I'm going to go back to my outline, and I'm actually going to add another sentence in here because I want to show you what you'll do as well. There we go. I'm just going to put another little whatever sentence on there. So now I have two sentences on my fact 1. And what I'm going to do here is up here where it just said click to edit. This is where I would put like what it is I'm talking about. So those of you who are doing solids, liquids, gases, you did solids as one, you did liquids as another fact, and gases as another. So on each of these, you would put what it is that you're talking about. Same thing with government. Whatever you're talking about with your fact, you would put there. So this is like a mini title. So it's a title of the fact. And then down here in the bulleted list, this is where I'm going to copy my sentences. So I'm going to take my first sentence that I came up with. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it right there. Okay? And then we look at what it does here. It says I can add another item right there. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my second sentence, copy that, and I'm going to paste that right there. So it automatically now comes up with a couple of different bullets now. So you can see each one of these little bullets here is a sentence form. It puts it in kind of a nice little order. This is kind of what it'll look like. So it looks good, looks nice, very centered, very balanced. It looks very good. If that is a little bit too hard for you doing the copying and the pasting, then you can definitely just grab both of them at the same time, copy them, and put them both under the same bullet. I would like you to try to separate those if they're sentences. It does look a little nicer, makes it seem a little bit better, kind of separates those two sentences so that they're easily seen by the audience. So kind of practice at that if you have to. Now I'm going to keep on going here. I'm going to keep adding my slides. I'm going to, I would recommend that you try to stay with the same this fact slide format. I'd like you to kind of stay with the same one. So if you pick bulleted for the first one, you should probably stick with bulleted for the next couple. I want to switch to this one just because I want to show you what this one will look like and kind of give you an idea. I'm going to copy this. You'll notice that this one doesn't give me the option of putting a title on it, so I might want to put a title on there before I copy this sentence on, just so that my audience does know what it is I'm talking about. But you can see that this one looks much different than this. So the difference between the two, of course, this has a little title, has nice bullets that keeps things separate. This just has the information that you typed. So as far as working towards a survive or a thrive, this would be a typical survive slide, whereas this would be a very typical thrive slide. So if you get the idea of the difference between the two, hopefully that helps you in what you're trying to do and the effort that you put in. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and add my next slide. I'm going to go very quickly do it. I'm going to grab this one again because I only have one sentence. Mr. Meyer, he's only doing survive work here, it looks like. I'm going to copy and paste this in here very quickly. So I have my 3 fact slides now. So here I am. I've got intro, slide 1, or fact 1, fact 2, fact 3. Okay. I'm going to add another one. Actually, no, I'm going to add one more in here, and then I'll pause it and I'll let you guys kind of do the copying and the pasting. I know I threw a lot at you here, but definitely go back and listen again if you need to, or ask for help from present Mr. Meyer. He's more than willing to help you out with this. On my closing slide, I'm going to probably pick either this slide or this slide again, one of the two. If I do this slide, for instance, I want to put something on this. So like before we put our title on here, this would be a good one where you might want to just say, hey, thank you. Thank you to the audience. Thank you for listening, something like that. And then underneath, that would be where you would kind of copy that sentence, and I would paste it in this bottom part here again like that. Although my sentence is so small, look at that. That's very, very tiny. So that brings up a very interesting point here. Look how small that sentence is. That probably should tell me something. That probably should tell me that this slide right here is probably not the right type of slide for me to use on this, because that is way too small. No one would be able to read that. So I'm actually going to click and go to this type of a slide instead. And then I'm going to type in or paste in my slide right there. That looks much better than what I had before. So look at that. I'm just going to go ahead and change my mind and use that for my final slide. So if you get a slide that looks kind of funny like mine did, something that doesn't look quite right, definitely change something up. Ask for help on what you should do instead, because we do want you to get that done right. So here's this is another good stopping point for us here. So I want you to pause the video here. I want you to, you've already got this named, it's already ready to go. So what I want you to do is I want you to work on getting your 5 slides and all of your sentences from your outline put into your haiku deck. Please remember to ask for help if you're having troubles with something, you're not sure how to do something, whatever it happens to be. Please ask for some help so we can get this done really quickly. And then we'll get into kind of the really fun stuff now. The fun stuff comes up where we're going to mess with the font and the themes and start adding some pictures in there and kind of doing some really cool stuff. So go ahead and pause the video, catch up with me, and we'll move on to the next part here after that. All right, well, welcome back. We are ready to do some of the fun stuff now. Hopefully you have all 5 of your slides. They're looking good. You got things done really easily, maybe a little bit of help, but for the most part, you're looking good. Now let's talk a little bit about, let's do fonts and themes first. So if I click on the fonts and the themes, you're going to see some stuff up here on the top. And each one of these will change the font a little bit. Let's see, what's that do, I wonder? Didn't look like it did anything. This will change the font around a little bit. So I got a Starship 1. You can see the words will be changing every time I do something different. I want to go to the your title there. I can kind of take a look at this and see. So you have a lot of different options that you can pick. Not near as many options as you have like on Google as far as the fonts and stuff go there, but definitely have some ideas. Try to pick a font that is easy to read and doesn't make your words seem so small. When you're presenting a big important thing is you want things to be in a size that your audience can see it from a far ways away. So you don't want something that's so small that they can barely read it. So this looks very nice, but you see how thin my letters are. I might want to go with something maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit that stands out a little bit more. So your choice. You go through, take a look at all these different fonts and things. Pick the one that fits you, that you just like the best, and then we'll move on to the next part here. So I think we can go ahead and pause. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause the video here. Why don't you go ahead, find yourself a good font, come on back, and we'll do the rest. Okay, so hopefully you found your font easy. I'm sure you went through and looked at each and every one of them and came up with a very nice looking font that's going to make your presentation kind of stand out and look very nice. The next part I want to show you on this, and this happens to go with our very last objective, is discovering how images can enhance our presentation. Right now we have a very kind of boring looking presentation. It's just black and gray or white, and that's it. So there's not a lot of excitement, not a lot of neat stuff going on. So we want to add some stuff to that. We want to put some more things on here that's going to make this presentation look much better. So we're going to pick this second tab over here that looks kind of like a picture where it says set the background. We're going to click on that. And what's neat about this is if we have already put all of our text in here, this Haiku deck is so smart, it will actually know what it is that you typed and it will search for those things. So you can see here, it already put the word title in here because it read, here's the 2 words I put, your and title. So it says, hey, title is an important word in this slide. So I'm going to find pictures that match that word title. Okay. When you go to a different slide that has a bunch of different words on it, look what it does. It starts grabbing words out of your slide so that you can pick. Oh yeah, I'm talking mostly about a sentence here. So if I click on that, I'm going to get pictures that match that. So those of you who are doing like solids, liquids, and gases, or magnets, or government, it's going to find those important words and it's going to search for those for you. So you pick the words that you want to search for, which is a fantastic tool. So it just does a lot of work for you, which is great. So if I go back to title here, you can see I have a whole bunch of different things here. I might grab a book title or something like that. I can find some books or something to put in the background. Yours is obviously going to match your subject, right? So if I, let me change this here quick. I'm going to come back here and let's just say I did magnets, for instance, okay? And I want to do a search. This time it's going to actually search for magnets. Oh, and look at that. Look at all these magnets that I have. Oh, now that's a pretty cool background picture. Oh, I like that one too. So like I said, you just kind of go through and you just kind of find a picture that kind of matches what you're talking about. So if I'm talking about magnets, I want a magnet background. If I'm talking about solids, liquids, and gases, I want something that looks like that, something that goes with it, what it is that I'm talking about. So your next task, your last task, as a matter of fact, is to go through, add an image to each one of your slides. So I want all 5 slides to have a nice background image, just like my fake presentation here has. Make it match something that you're talking about. So I would recommend that you just pick a word from your title here instead of you typing in a phrase yourself, just because you want to use words that you're doing, okay? Now, like the word go, for instance, if you have some small words, you want to pick the main ideas, pick the big words. So if you're talking about atoms, you're talking about states of matter, you're talking about, those are the words that you want to click on and those are the ones you want to search for. So I guess with that, we're kind of done with the video here. You're kind of on your own now to find some pictures. Once all of your pictures are done, well, your haiku deck is finished and you're ready to hopefully next week share with your peers for an extra nice little bonus point opportunity. So remember, if you have any questions, ask present Mr. Meyer, who is probably walking around checking things out right now, and he will just love to help you out with stuff. So good luck. Keep working hard.